Hi, everyone. I'm Cole Harper. Welcome to Fear Assembly, your ultimate source for everything terrifying, scary, spooky, and in between. We're going to talk about horror films, TV series, all kinds of things in the ether. And we've got a great group with us today. So, with us is Ricky, Amelia, and Annie. And they'll be sharing where you can find them throughout if you're not already following them. But throughout our series, you're going to meet a lot of great people that are actively talking about movies in the space. I am a huge fan of horror, and throughout the series, we're going to get into some friendly debates. We're going to share a lot of recommendations of movies that you should be watching, whether they're streaming on Netflix or Shudder or in theaters now, and just have fun with it. So that's ultimately what we want to do. So with that, I'll kick it off to Annie, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Annie James, also known as Annie's Horror across Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I have loved horror since I was about 10 years old when I first saw Scream, and I talk about horror content across social media. And now I'm going to hand it over to Ricky.
Hi, I'm Ricky, formerly known as Ricky666. I changed my name recently and I'm thinking of changing it back because I'm confusing myself. So, Ricky666, you can find me on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Like Annie and like everybody else here, I've been obsessed with horror movies since I was probably way too young. And it's basically all I can think about every single day.
Excellent.
Love it.
Amelia.
And hey guys, I'm Amelia, known as Clark's Capers, mostly a TikTok human, but also on Instagram. And like all these other awesome humans, I've loved horror since I was a kid. Like Ricky said, far too young as well. And with my content, I like to mix in like rock and metal music as well, and also psychoanalyzing horror films too.
Excellent. Well, so like we said, we're going to talk about everything horror, and I want to kind of start with why I like horror movies, even though I'm also co-founder of Utopia, and we distribute and produce a number of films. We have about 150 movies in our catalog, ranging from horror films to drama, comedy, documentary, everything in between. But personally, I love horror. It's one of those genres for me. I get very excited anytime there's a new trailer that comes out. Every time a friend sees a movie that I haven't yet, I just feel an urge to go and check it out. There's something slightly depraved but exciting and interesting, I think, about the horror genre. And some of our folks have already spoken about how they've been watching horror from a very young age. And so for me, that movie that I watched way too early in my childhood was Jaws, which I assume everyone has seen that is listening to this. And Jaws scared me from the deep end of my pool in St. Louis. I was nowhere near an ocean, but even if I was in a lake or a pond or a friend's swimming pool or my own, I was in the back of my mind thinking, hey, a great white is going to break through this wall and eat me for no reason. So thank you, Spielberg, for implanting that in my mind. So with that, Ricky, would you like to share what movie you saw as a kid that made you really gravitate more towards horror?
Sure. So I had seen like a bunch of sort of entry level horror here in the UK. Well, I think it was everywhere. Like, Are You Afraid of the Dark was on literally right before I went to bed, and it used to terrify me, when I was about 8 years old. And I think that was my first taste of horror. But the thing that really got me obsessed was one Halloween. I convinced my parents to let me rent The Exorcist. I was 13 years old. And we got to the first scene where she throws herself back on the bed and her throat bulges out, and I ran out of the room crying. But I took I took the video, because there's videos back then. I took the video and I went upstairs the next day and I watched the whole thing by myself. And ever since then, I've watched that film maybe 2 to 3 times a year. I'm obsessed with it. I've written essays about it, case studies about it. That is the film that just turned me into who I am today. Without The Exorcist, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I think in most polls, people consider The Exorcist the scariest movie ever. And
Yeah.
I know from my parents, that's what they point to as the one that really messed them up, as they were getting into movies more and more, and made them think twice about, what they would be watching around myself and my two sisters as we were growing up. Amelia, how about you?
For me, like Ricky said, like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps, all of those good programs I was obsessed with. But my mom was watching Psycho when I was really young, and she said, "Don't come into the room. I'm watching something. You're not allowed to come in the room." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." Went into the room, saw Anthony Perkins, who plays Norman Bates, and I think I kind of fancied him. I think I thought he was really cute. Got really fixed on it, and then of course you get that massive reveal at the end, and I was absolutely terrified. It absolutely just freaked me out. But because I didn't watch it from the start, like Ricky said as well, I had to watch it from the start to see the whole film. Then I did. And again, I just became absolutely obsessed with Psycho. I also am a massive Blade fan, but even before Blade, it was Psycho.
Such a good film.
Excellent.
Yeah, banger.
Oh, so good. That reveal is like insane. I think mine doesn't come like as close to yours in like crazy horror. Mine is The Mummy, which is maybe like horror adjacent. Because now I watch it and I'm like, is this really a horror film? I don't know. Maybe it's like a thriller drama. I don't know. But I saw it probably at about 7 or 8 years old. So at the time when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is terrifying. But that one has always been like ingrained. There's just one scene where like I think there's like it cuts to black and then like one of the mummies pops up on the screen and I cried after it. I should not have seen it at 7. But after that it sparked okay, I was scared, but I kind of want to feel that way again. So after that, then my like horror movie was then Scream, and I was like, okay, this is great. I love this feeling.
Excellent. Well, as a bit of bonus content for my wife, that movie was Hills Have Eyes, as well as Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
And that put her in a very bad spot in terms of liking horror films, to the point that I don't have a movie watching buddy for the horror genre. So that's part of why I'm here with a new group of friends, so that we can watch horror together.
You've got us.
Talk about these movies. So
We got you, dude.
My wife hated horror. She hated horror. She wouldn't watch it. She was terrified. Her mum scared her off of watching The Exorcist because she's like spiritual and stuff like that. And it took like 4 years into our relationship for her to finally watch The Exorcist. It's now one of her favorite films and one of her favorite genres.
No way.
Excellent. Well, on a similar topic, I have 2 younger kids. One is 5 and one is 2 years old. And my wife and I are constantly debating what kind of movies and content we're going to allow our kids to watch, when is an appropriate age, even if they're just seeing a trailer or things like that. My 5-year-old actually claims to enjoy it, but then he complains later saying that he can't go to sleep and he's having nightmares, etc. So we try to keep that to a minimum. So even a few weeks ago, I was playing the movie Thrash because I turned on Netflix here in the United States, and Thrash was one of the primary movies that they were promoting at that time. My son said, "Hey, you like the shark movies, right? Like Jaws?" I said, "Yeah, let's check it out. Let's see how you do. But hey, if you get really scared, let me know. We'll just turn it off." And we only watched the first 15 minutes or so. It didn't even get into all the graphic scenes and things. And he got distracted by something else. He wanted to watch something else. It was his way of saying, "Hey, I'm not really that comfortable right now." But as soon as mom got home from what she was doing, he goes to her and says, "Hey, Dad, maybe watch a shark movie." And she turns on Netflix and sees that we've watched 20 minutes of Thrash. And that led to a massive argument. So I wanted to use this section for us to actually discuss some general movies that I think most people have seen or are at least familiar with, and have a little debate over what the appropriate age is for a child, whether it's your own or just any young kid, to check out. So we're going to start with Jurassic Park. Amelia, what are your thoughts on Jurassic Park?
Oh, Jurassic Park is kind of funny. Like the dude dies on the bog. Do you know what I mean? It's funny. I also watched Jurassic Park quite young, but I did find it funny because dinosaurs hilarious, toilets hilarious. So maybe about like 7, 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. Ricky, you concur? Is it a clean sweep?
I actually saw Jurassic Park in the theater. It's one of my very, very, very early memories. And the scene that always stuck out for me is where she's trying to escape up the hatch and the raptor is like jumping up at her feet. Terrifying. But my son, he's 4.5. He's dinosaur obsessed. So I would show him Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's 4.5.
Okay. So you're planning to show him that soon, or are you waiting for?
I think
Okay.
so. I think
All
so.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the fence. My 5-year-old says, he's ready for it, but every time I start playing it, he just gets nervous and anxious, and I can sense it. So we've turned that off. The second one is one that really messed me up as a kid as well, and I think definitely gave a fear of spiders to many people. And this one is arachnophobia.
I
So
love
Annie,
this
I'll start
movie.
with you.
I
Okay.
love this movie. There's no age limit on this movie. Okay. I mean, it is terrifying, but what is the rating on this movie? I
believe it's PG-13.
Yeah.
It might be R. I'm not sure.
I think at about 8 years old, you're good with arachnophobia. I mean, my husband's 42 and he still can't watch it. So it's down to personal phobias. But I think it's a fun movie. I love this movie. I don't know what you guys think. What do you think about arachnophobia?
I have never watched the whole of Arachnophobia, dude. Spiders is a no for me. Like, so age limit, I'm in my 30s. That's the age limit. I can't deal with it. Even the box art, the spider, the purple background.
Oh, it's great.
It's not for me, Bab.
No.
Can't do it.
Ricky?
Well,
I like it. I think it's a great film. Again, I remember when it was like playing on TV back in the day, on like the early days of Sky TV, and we used to watch it on repeat, man. It was scary, and it would make your skin crawl. But again, it was like becoming accustomed to that feeling of fear and just like loving it and not really knowing why. I don't really I'm not in love with spiders, but like I can kind of handle them.
All right.
Same.
Well, for me, the scenes that always stand out are the toilet scene and the lampshade. It's really just like when you're reaching into kind of a small space or being vulnerable and not knowing what's going to jump out or just kind of float down from the ceiling and land on you, right? But for me as a child, that definitely scared me from pretty much all spiders, and I had to learn over time that most spiders are not going to hurt you or do anything. Even in places like Los Angeles where there's tons of black widows, and the Midwest where there's even brown recluses and other terrible scary spiders. And so for me, I'm kind of holding off on showing my kids arachnophobia till maybe 7 years old, give or take. If they beg me for it, I don't mind it, but I want to make sure that they're in an appropriate headspace to know, okay, spiders aren't bad guys. We don't need to kill every one of them that we see. There's ways to relocate them, etc. Let's talk about It and Pennywise. Who wants to start with that?
I'm still scared now, so what's a good age?
Which It are we talking about?
Yeah, right.
Are we talking about the OG Tim Curry or Bill Skarsgård? Which one we talking about?
Either
one. Is one more appropriate for a 6 or 7-year-old in your mind?
I think that 2017's It, absolutely not for children.
It's terrifying.
It is. It's gory, but there's also a lot of like bad language in it, right? But controversially, I don't think that the Tim Curry's. I think Tim Curry in It is incredible, but I think the actual film or TV film isn't that great when you go back and rewatch it, and it's a bit less. It's a bit less grown up. So I think you could probably get away with showing that to a 10-year-old.
All right, fair enough. Annie, what do you think? What age is appropriate for, let's say, the 2017 version of It?
That one's really scary because I saw that in the cinema and I hadn't seen the original, so I didn't know what to expect, and I was like, ooh, I don't like this. And I'm not usually like scared of clowns. It's not a phobia of mine, and I'll watch clown movies, but this one I was a bit like, ooh, maybe I do have a phobia of clowns. I don't know, maybe like 14, 15 is a good age. I think that's a good movie to like watch with your friends when you're a couple of years under the age of what you should be to watch it, because it's like fun and sneaky and scary. I think that's a good age.
Definitely. And the fact that obviously there's a ton of kids in the movie itself it makes it a little bit more relatable, for a younger audience, I think, and
Yeah.
plays to things that they're already scared of anyway. All right, next one on the list is Halloween. How do we feel about Michael Myers and everything that goes on in that movie?
I love a bit. I'm repping Michael. I love a bit of Michael. But if you think about Halloween, like the OG, not a lot of freaky things happen. We got old Loomis running around. We got old Michael. It's not that scary. So I would put the age for it. Like Annie was saying with it, like teens can watch it together, have a bit of a giggle. It's a little bit creepy, not overly like gross or gory. So maybe 14, 13.
Yeah.
All right. At least teenager age. Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Ricky?
I see. I think the original Halloween is incredibly like psychologically harrowing, right? And I remember watching it when I was under 10 years old and being afraid of being Michael instead of being chased by Michael, right? I was worried, what if this happens to me one day? What if one day I just snap as a kid, right?
Wow.
So for me, at least, I feel like I should have been definitely older than 10, maybe like 13 plus.
Got it. Noted. I will take that tip into consideration with my kids. The next one is the one that terrified my wife, Wrong Turn. Annie, what are your thoughts on Wrong Turn?
I will die for this movie. I absolutely love this movie. This is a perfect movie, and I don't care what anyone says. I had to get that out there before I start talking about who should see it. I think it's very gory. So maybe like, I don't know, maybe that's 13, 14 again, because some of the kills are really good and really funny. Like, I feel like I would be giggling with my friends. Like the tree kill where the axe like cuts her off at the mouth and the body drop. Like, that's just so much fun. Like, it's so fun. So again, I would say like teenagers, like 13, 14.
All right. Amelia, you're nodding. You agree?
100% agree. It's the perfect like gateway horror film. You got like comedy in there, you got gross bits in, you got creative kills in there. Wrong Turn is so sick. So I would put it definitely like your teenagers going to watch it, being all freaked out together, like, oh my god, did you see that? Oh my god. Yeah, teenagers. It's a sick Wrong Turn is sick. So good.
So good.
So good.
All right. So Ricky, I take it you were 2.5 when you saw this one, right?
It's been many, many years since I've seen it. I think I watched it when I was in my early teens and I haven't seen it since. So there's a lot of that film I don't even remember. So
you do a rewatch.
Yeah, for sure. So, I guess because I was like 12 or 13, maybe 12 or 13, who knows?
All right. Yeah. And for me as a kid, I think I saw that at maybe 8, maybe 9 years old. And that was very, very intense. And, around a similar time was another movie that takes place in West Virginia called The Mothman Prophecies, which is not on our list, but it made me really scared just to go to West Virginia in general. It seemed like all these movies were saying, hey, stick on solid land, away from the sharks, away from, Wrong Turn people and the Mothman. And so I did for the most part. Next movie on our list gets a little bit sci-fi. So this one is Alien. Amelia, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on Alien?
Alien's sick. Like, Alien is sick. Again, like, have to say it, a female protagonist doing the do, being an absolute badass. Like, it's great. Alien's great. Again, not that scary, I would say, but when I did watch Alien as a kid, it was the xenomorphs, obviously, and like the face are good more than the xenomorphs, I would say. Just the grossness of it. And also, I don't think when I was young, I couldn't really comprehend the whole pregnant bit of it with like the birthing bit and the laying the egg. I don't think I really understood it. It was just a gross visual, so maybe again I would say teenagers, but to comprehend actually what's going on in the film and like the laying the eggs and the blur and the queens and like older.
All right.
Yeah.
Annie, you're nodding. You agree?
Yeah, because I had the exact same experience. I watched it and I didn't actually know like what was going on because I watched it too young. But it's not that scary. So I would say maybe 10 years old, 10 or 11 years old, and then rewatch it when you're like 16, so you understand it.
Got it. All right, Ricky.
Yeah, I agree with what everybody else has basically said. Like sci-fi horror for me, it doesn't really scare me as much as other types of horror movies. So, like for me, I feel like you can watch that quite young. It's quite a fun movie, I think. Like if you watch it without all the connotations of what it all means and stuff like that, it is just a fun movie. So, yeah, maybe watch it when you're about 10, 11, 12, and then rewatch it again as an adult, and you can just completely appreciate it on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right, the next one, we're going to get back to just straight horror. This one originally, I believe, was from Japan, right? The Ring, and we all, the folks on this call probably grew up watching the American version first before we saw the Japanese version. But I remember I was, believe, an early teen myself, and the entire theater, when the girl crawls out of the TV in that scene, the entire theater was just beside themselves, and I really felt like it was not a safe environment, and that's one of the few moments I've ever experienced in a theater like that. Annie, what are your thoughts on The Ring and an appropriate age for people to see this?
I mean, as a huge horror fan, this is one of the scariest horror films I've ever seen. It still scares me, and I don't watch it that often. I think because I need to mentally prepare to be in the right zone to watch it. So probably like 15. I think in the UK it had a 15 rating. I don't think it was like an 18 in the UK. So I would probably say around 15 because it will stay with you for a while. If you're not like a horror fan or you're not into scary stuff, then I think it could affect you a lot more than somebody who is into horror.
Definitely. Amelia, you're nodding. You agree? 15?
Yeah, like I watched this. There used to be a little bit of a weird segue, but there used to be a store around the corner from my mom's where you could rent DVDs and like VHSs. And I had a sleepover when I was about 14, 15. Got The Ring. I was okay with it. Still scared me. I was still very, very frightened by it. But some of my friends at the time were absolutely like they couldn't sleep, they couldn't shut their eyes. We had to sleep with the lights on because I was so terrified. So I think with The Ring, it is really scary, but for some reason, obviously fear is subjective, right? It hits people differently because those images, when you see the flashing on the TV, that's what scared me. Because I thought, oh my God, like something's beaming into my head. And as well with the visuals. So I would say teenagers getting together, chilling, watching it. But yeah, 15, I would say.
All right. Ricky, do you want to go earlier than 15 or do you concur?
So I feel like we're all roughly the same age, right? So like The Ring is one of the horror films of our generation, right? That film probably came out when we were all in our early to mid teens, I would imagine. So it's one of the formative horror films of our teenage years. So I think 14, 15 is appropriate. We I famously have a thing against remakes of good horror films, right? And I recently just watched both of these films back to back because I'm about to do a series on good remakes, and I think The Ring is one of the best horror remakes. But holy hell, the original is harrowing, man. You talk about the scene where she crawls out the TV. The way that they do it in the original is just, and the way they do it in the remake is incredible as well. But the original, there's something so much more like, I feel like I'm going to be sick when I watch this.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, and it's dangerous for the studios sometimes to get their hands on some IP that maybe started in Japan or the Philippines or Thailand or wherever it is, and that was one that I think they hit it out of the park. There's others like The Grudge. I think people have kind of a mixed review over the U.S. version versus the original, but nonetheless, this is definitely one of the horror films that I think is out there in the mainstream at this point, and most people will see. But I 100% agree that you should be a teenager before you see this one. Fun fact about The Ring, because I have done a rewatch of this and actually took a lot of notes from this film. And what's interesting is you actually never see Samara, kill anyone. There is violence, but it's always seeing, the person after something has occurred, and just the terrified, frozen look on their face,
Yeah.
right? Where then you, as an audience, wonder, okay, what did they see that contorted them, in that way and made them unalive? However, the kids like to call it these days. So, so moving on to another great franchise, we have The Conjuring. What age is that appropriate to show to younger audiences?
12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
12, 11, 12. They're creepy and they're scary, but I don't think they're that scary. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I would agree. Yeah, about 11, 12. I think it's, again, maybe a really, really, we spoke about like teenagers, teen horror, things you can watch with your mates. But I reckon if you watch that with your parents and you're about 11 or whatever, it's quite a good gateway horror film. We've spoken about
Yeah.
films that we watched as kids, right? I can imagine some people a bit younger being like, oh, I watched The Conjuring with my mom, I watched The Conjuring with my dad. That's what really got me into horror. So yeah, I'd say like 11, 10. Big fan.
Yeah, I mean they're really mainstream, aren't they? So they kind of like
Yeah.
appeal to a broader audience, and that's kind of what makes them good. The first two, at least, right? They're
Yeah.
I found them pretty scary. When I first saw them, there were certain scenes in the first one that really really scared me. But yeah, I feel like you can watch that when you're like 10, 11, maybe not 10.
Yeah.
Like, well, whatever. Yeah, show it to a 10-year-old. See how they cope. Throw him in at the deep end.
Yeah. And I also really liked the new one. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I really liked it. I thought it was good.
I've seen worse films.
Yeah.
There was some silliness to it for sure. I thought it was way too long.
I'm a Conjuring defender, guys.
Oh, that door was spinning around for too long. It was just going for it. It's too much.
Did you like The Devil Made Me Do It? I thought that was the worst one. I thought that got a bit too silly for me.
I think it's probably the weakest one of the franchise, but again, I still enjoyed it. I told you I'm a Conjuring defender.
Well, another one that has developed at least a few sequels is Pet Sematary. And this is one that I saw at too early of an age. I think I was around 8, maybe 9 years old. But I had gotten in an argument with my father, and I said, look, I love horror. I've read parts of some Stephen King novels up to that point, including some that I shouldn't have, including Gerald's Game. But Pet Sematary, he allowed me to watch it. And then we talked about it after the fact, and he said, "Oh, you're just sick. You thought the scene where the child gets run over is just whatever. You didn't." And I said, "Well, Dad, I know the premise of the movie, so I knew something was going to happen. I just didn't know what." But yeah, I think 7 or 8 is probably too early. So I'm going to hold off from my kids seeing Pet Sematary until they're at least 10, and probably have some other lighter horror films before I present that to them. But Andy, what are your thoughts on Pet Sematary?
Well, I have a confession to make. I never saw the original.
Really?
I call myself a
got
horror
loads of
fan. I know. I'm ashamed and appalled. I saw whatever the most recent remake was, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, I suppose that scene is pretty triggering. So 11, 12 again. That's my safe zone, if you can't tell.
Right. Amelia, what are your thoughts in terms of the appropriate age for Pet Sematary?
Yeah, Pet Sematary is harrowing. Like, if you really think about it, the premise of the film is quite harrowing. I do like the original. I watched the remake when I locked myself out the house, so I went to the cinema like angry. So I didn't really take in the film because I was so angry at myself. So I think it was okay. But for the original, I would say like 15 maybe, just because the premise, if you really, really think about it, is quite messed up. So about 15, I'll say.
Absolutely. Ricky, do you concur? 15?
I think like it's like Amelia said, it's a very harrowing movie. The scene with the scalpel and the back of the Achilles is just it's so gross. But I think I'm too young to watch that film. Like, I have kids. That scene where the kid runs across the road, like, I can't even think about it. Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
it depends, like, where you are in life. If you have kids or if you don't have kids, like I don't think I would show my kids this until they were at least like 4.
Yeah, the scene that actually scared me the most from Pet Sematary was Zelda with her hunchback running
Oh,
after her sister,
Mm.
saying "Never get out of bed again,"
Mm.
and just kind of screaming in her face, and then kind of zooming in and closing up on her facial expression. That stuck with me for a long time. So I think in general, as we move on to some other segments here, I think the age in which many of us see these films and down the line our kids, it definitely impacts whether or not we like horror. If we try to steer clear of it, there's definitely aspects of maturity and the context of these films. You think about like a Friday the 13th. You have to understand some birds and the bees conversations and other things going on there in the storyline beyond just the scary moments. And one of the other films I'll just call out that stuck with me was Nightmare on Elm Street. That's one of the few films that actually gave me nightmares throughout most of my childhood, where I truly thought Freddy Krueger was going to get me in one of those dreams, and it was going to be for real, just like in the movie. And I know for many of us, we learn from these films, right? So like with It, we learn, hey, if you lose your toy in a sewer grate, don't stick your arm in there. Never try to reach for a toy from a clown, right, Amelia?
Yeah, it belongs to the sewer now. Leave it. Leave it. For me, it was like, so I don't like aliens. Anything to do with aliens it's not for me. I'm not watching it. And I think it's because it's the fear, like it's the unknown. Do you know, like Area 51, like all of that stuff? It just freaks me out, and it always has. Like I used to live in Brighton. Ricky represent Brighton, whoop. And I spoke to this guy. Like I was on a night out, so I'd had a few a few wines, and this guy was absolutely trash, and he was telling me how he saw a UFO on Brighton Beach, and I was absolutely terrified, but I couldn't muster up to be like, dude, can you stop talking? So he told me full chapter and verse about this UFO he saw, and I was like, oh my god. But there's a film called Fourth Kind. I watched like half of it, and I was like, this ain't for me, Bab. Like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Even that scene in Signs when you see the alien like kind of go past the door, it's kind of funny, but no, anything aliens can't do it. No.
Fourth Kind is such a good movie. I thought it was real. I thought it was real for the longest time.
Right? Yeah. No.
I was like, we're watching real footage in this movie. It's so... and alien stuff doesn't usually scare me, but that movie was like... I feel like it was like a craze. Everyone was talking about it for a while, and they were like, no, it's real. You have to watch it. And everyone actually thought they were watching something real. It was like crazy.
I can't remember a film like that. Do you know what I mean? Like A Fourth Kind is such a unique film in the way it presents that story.
Oh my gosh.
It's like documentary, real footage, and reenactment all put together. It's so well done. It's so well done.
So good.
There is
so
real
good.
footage in Fourth Kind.
Second?
There's real footage in Fourth Kind.
Real footage.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
we had air quotes for those listening. Real footage.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, it is real.
So Ricky, you had your own thoughts on Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street.
People are going to call me insane. I swear to God, I had a nightmare about Freddy Krueger before I even knew what that film was.
Ooh.
I remember it so well. He had the hat, he had the stripes, he had everything. It was Freddy Krueger, and he was running after me. And I remember waking up so afraid. And when I finally got up, I was about 6 years old. And when I got much older and into horror, and I saw Freddy Krueger, I was like, I had a dream about this person, and everyone was like, nah, mate, you're full of it. I was like, I swear, what do I gain from this other than looking insane?
That's
maybe you saw a poster or something at a video store, and that image just kind of stuck in your subconscious. Who knows?
Who knows, right? That is the I'm a fairly skeptical person, so that is probably what happened. but this, for the sake of entertainment, I was once chased by Freddy Krueger.
It happened. It actually
Yeah.
happened.
Believe
Yeah.
you,
Very
June, I
fine.
believe you.
Mhm.
So Annie, what movie was it for you that made you a little bit weary about this
I
space?
mean, nothing that like gives me like actual creeps like the UFO and like the Freddy nightmare, but there's stuff that I think twice about that I do like in my everyday routine. Like when I open the fridge door, I always think somebody's going to be behind the door, or like when I'm in the shower, I think if I pull back the curtain, somebody's going to be there, or if I turn the lights off, you know, that movie Lights Out, I always think somebody's going to be standing there like in the dark. And when I go to sleep, I hang my like hoodie like on the edge of my door. I don't know why I do it, because I wake up in the middle of the night and I always think there's somebody there, and that's from Lights
You
Out.
should know.
So
You should know better.
I know. I think I just
Really
love
a
the
bit
thrill of
bad.
it. I just love the thrill of it. Listen, I'm a horror fan and I'm trying to get scares wherever I can. So
Yeah. Now, be honest. Do you guys sleep with any night lights on or a TV on in the room or anything like that, or do you like it pitch black?
pitch black.
Oh yeah,
Pitch black. But I do have to
Yeah.
watch something before I go to sleep. So in the dark, me and my partner will watch something, but then yeah, full lights out.
Yeah.
When I was much,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
go on. When I was much younger, and after I'd watched a horror film, I had to watch The Simpsons before I went to bed.
Yeah, cartoons all the way afterwards.
Mm.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, horror has many subgenres, and one of the subgenres that we're going to talk about here shortly are the great zombie movies that many of us grew up loving and watching. And we're going to start making some recommendations to you, the listener. And some of these you may have seen. Some of them, hopefully, are a new discovery. But for us, we love our zombie movies, and I think it's one of the subgenres that is just never going to go away, whether it's TV series like Walking Dead or more recent films like all the spin-offs of 28 Days Later and so forth. So Annie, why don't you kick us off with a well-known zombie film that you'd recommend, as well as one that maybe is not so well-known?
Okay, so a well-known one would be Shaun of the Dead. That's one of my favorite zombie movies, just because it's so silly and it's so fun and it's British and it's just, the humor is just so dry and silly. It's so good. I've lost count how many times I've watched it. And then a lesser known to me, because I only discovered this maybe a year and a half ago, is Train to Busan. I'd never heard of it before, but people had said that it was like the best zombie movie of all time. But they had warned me that it was pretty emotional. So I just threw it on one day last year and I think I cried all afternoon. So I won't say anything else. I will say, go watch it. I don't know if it's underrated. Maybe it's a little bit underrated because I don't see that many people talk about it. I certainly didn't know about it, but absolutely recommend. Phenomenal zombie movie.
Excellent. Ricky, how about you?
So I think a really good, well-known zombie film is Wreck. I'm a big found footage guy, and I think Wreck does zombies kind of the same way that, and I know so many people say that 28 Days Later isn't a zombie film. It is. I think it is a zombie film, right? But yeah, the zombies in Wreck are terrifying. They run at you. They're gory. They're gnarly, and just found footage when it's done the right way is just really effective at like scaring me. But I think for a lesser known, my favorite zombie film of all time is a film called The Battery. I've had a bit of a love-hate relationship with zombie films. I think there's so many of them, and 90% of them aren't that great. And some of my favorite things about zombie films aren't the zombies. It's kind of what we're left with after a zombie apocalypse. The loneliness, right? The isolation, missing the life and the world that we used to have. And The Battery focuses on that. It's just these two guys roaming around, just trying to find pieces of what their life used to be. And it's a really moving film.
Agreed. All right. Well, I know our listeners are screaming for a classic. So, Amelia, hit us with it.
Yeah, so for me, one that's well known, Night of the Living Dead, banger, absolutely sick. Like what it did to the zombie genre is absolutely just crazy, monumental. Dwayne Jones is absolutely sick in that film. Like it's just absolutely brilliant. Harrowing ending as well. Like, and as well, because when Dwayne, I don't want to geek out about it too much because I could talk about it for ages.
Go for it.
But just the ending with Dwayne Jones and like the racial implication, but he wasn't hired because he was black. He was just the best actor for the role. So then it changed the way the ending. It's just amazing. It's sick, absolutely sick. And then lesser known, I have to agree with Annie with Train to Busan. Like when I first watched that, I was oh my, it's devastating. It's so sad. It's so
I haven't
sad.
seen it.
Oh, dude, you have to watch it.
Ricky. Cole, have you seen it?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Okay. So just you, Ricky. Okay.
And it's very intense too, Ricky. So if you like the fast moving zombies, these are some fast moving zombies.
These are hella fast.
Yeah.
Check it out.
It's a tearjerker, Bab. It's a sad one.
Yeah.
But after I watched it, I kind of got obsessed with it, and I was like, okay, there's got to be like I want to see more. So I found Seoul Station, which is the second installment to the Train to Busan film series, and it's animated, and it's absolutely sick. It's very, very different to Train to Busan. Like it's a different vibe. It's basically three people: father, daughter and boyfriend that all get separated. Father and daughter go looking for the girl, and it's just about their journey, and it ends in a massive twist. I watched it a few weeks ago, and me and my partner was just like, yeah, really good. Really good.
I haven't heard of this. I need to watch it.
Watch it, dude. It's very good. Very good.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, for me, it was Dawn of the Dead. This is a classic all the way back from 2004. This was just the perfect mixture of scary and also funny. And it ties into, kind of old America in terms of shopping malls and, just getting these large fortified buses and just ramming it through these hordes of zombies, thinking that that's, your escape. But highly entertaining film, and still one where for people that have never seen it, I always want to kind of sit through the first 5 minutes with them just to see their reaction to it, because the first 5 minutes of this movie is really, really intense. Another one that is lesser known that I've always recommended to my friends that love the horror genre is actually a French-Canadian film called The Ravenous. And I discovered this back in the day on Netflix. This is from 2019 or 2017. There might be another movie called The Ravenous, but the one that I'm speaking to has a lot of very nuanced aspects in terms of how the zombies operate, how they communicate, their organization. It's not just a plain survival film of, okay, let's get around the zombie, let's kill the zombie, let's just keep going. It gets very spiritual and very philosophical in terms of what caused this outbreak and how are these zombies operating. So it's a deeper film than what you probably think you're getting into. So highly recommend that for anybody that has not seen The Ravenous. I also want to give a special shout out to another super, super intense piece of horror art, which is called Black Summer. This was a Netflix original TV series. There were only 2 seasons, 16 episodes, give or take, but one of the most intense zombie-related stories I've ever seen. It literally starts in suburbia where the zombie outbreak is underway, and people are deciding if they are, trusting the government and entering these, let's say, militarized vans to escape suburbia, or if they're going to go about it on their own. And they have seconds to decide. And so the first 2 episodes are literally just, sprinting around. And again, the zombies are super fast, super smart, and you're never safe anywhere. So I don't want to spoil anything, but for anybody that has not seen Black Summer, you are in for a very intense and violent treat.
Sounds good.
Has anybody seen?
Yeah.
Have you seen that one, Ricky? Amelia?
I've not
Annie?
seen it. No.
No.
Oh my god!
Sounds great.
All right.
You need to watch it. Sounds good.
Yeah,
It's on the watch list.
It should be on Netflix regardless of territory. And by the way, with this in mind, all the movies that we are mentioning, as well as some of the TV series, the best way to find this is through one of our partners, a company called Just Watch. So if you go on justwatch.com, you can choose your country or territory, and it'll tell you based on any title where that is available. If it's in theaters, if it's on VOD, if it's streaming, etc., and it's one click and you're there to experience that. So that's what we use to go and watch movies when we're not sure where they're at. Future episodes are going to cover all kinds of other subgenres. Another one that we're going to hit on now is for creature features. I think we all love a good creature feature, monster flicks, etc. Everything in that realm. So, Amelia, I want to start off with you. What is your pick for a well-known creature feature flick that you recommend, and what's a lesser known?
Oh, so well known for me is Ginger Snaps, but I don't know if it is well known. It's well known to me. Is it well known?
I think it's kind of underrated.
I think so.
You reckon?
This is from 2000, so it's a little old for a lot of folks that refuse to watch anything before 2010, aka my wife. But I definitely think it's a classic, and you'll see it talked about on many forums and discussion boards out there. So I think in that sense, it's probably well known. I'm not sure how many people have actually watched in entirety.
Yeah.
What is the lesser known film that you'd recommend?
I mean, maybe I've got two lesser known ones though. So yeah, Ginger Snaps for the well known one, or maybe not. And then Transfiguration, which is a vampire film. Really, really cool though. It's not your run of the mill vampire film. It's basically this boy, he might have like autism or something like that, but he's really obsessed with vampires and he wants to know what being a vampire feels like. He wants to know everything about vampire lore. And then I don't want to wreck it, but then the story goes from there. And they're both kind of coming of age horror films, but they're both, sick, really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Annie, what are your selections that you'd recommend as far as creature features?
So my well-known one is Jeepers Creepers. I love this movie so much.
It's a great film.
It's so good. I rewatched it again recently, and it just gets better with time. And then my lesser-known one is The Ruins, which it kind of is a creature feature, an environmental creature feature. I don't know, but I couldn't really place it in another category. So for me, it's in creature feature, which I feel like is a really good movie that doesn't get as much love as it deserves. So if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. I think it's like early 2000s.
Yeah. It's a good film.
All right. Ricky.
So my well-known one would be The Babadook. And I know that might not be the most conventional creature feature, but The Babadook is a monster. So I guess so. I think that's a really terrifying film. I think it's a really good kind of depiction of grief on screen, and I just think all round it's scary. It's got a little bit funny and annoying as well. That kid is really really annoying. But I love that, and I think my unknown one would be Possum. If you haven't seen Possum before, that spider puppet, the spider puppet, is horrifying.
It's
Absolutely horrifying.
All right.
Such a bleak film.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. The Babadook is one of my all-time favorites, and that was produced in Australia. And as a quick aside, I believe the filmmakers actually had to do some crowdfunding for the clothing and some of the design aspects that they wanted to incorporate into the film, and they were successful in that. So you always wonder, for movies like this that we now consider well known, how far these filmmakers had to take their story before they could have the resources to put this on screen. So really glad that they did that, and this is one that is constantly talked about. So if you haven't seen The Babadook, you haven't seen Possum, definitely go check those out. For me, the well-known one is Cloverfield. I actually would argue that this is one of J.J. Abrams' best produced films. It's part found footage. It's also hilarious, as everybody who has seen it would attest. But the monster in Cloverfield, the fact that this thing just cannot be killed, and every time you hit it in a meaningful way, it spawns out new little beasts that can come after you and get you even in the sewer, and there's nowhere to hide. It's so intense, and I'm really excited to see if they actually create a proper sequel, not to take anything away from Cloverfield Lane, John Goodman, outstanding performance, and that's a great kind of apocalyptic film in the same universe, but not the same from a monster creature feature perspective, and then I have no idea what the Cloverfield paradox was. That seemed like it was a mistake from the beginning. So do not waste time with that one, unfortunately. The lesser known one that I really liked when I originally discovered this years ago was The Ritual, which takes place in the woods. It's a very similar kind of setting as Blair Witch in terms of these people kind of wandering around the woods. They're not exactly sure where they are, what they're looking for, and then they come across this creature that is just so different from anything else that we see in a lot of these movies. And the fact that it's a relatively low budget makes it all the more impressive from my perspective. And that's a creature that has stood out in my mind for many years following that, even as an adult. So I'd like to open the floor a little bit to the group just to share any movie that you've seen recently, whether you've covered it on your own social channels or otherwise that you'd love to talk about. So Annie, I'll start with you.
I just saw a fantastic movie. It's a dark sky film, so it had a limited theatrical release, but it's called Marama. I think I'm pronouncing it right. And it's a gothic revenge horror about this young woman who like travels. She travels like across the country to find out some truth about her heritage, and it's a horror film, so it's not great truth. But it's really, really good, really scary. And I saw it at like a very small theater in Beverly Hills, and I had a paranormal experience while I saw it. So take what you want from that. I know it was really, really creepy.
What you have to elaborate. You
okay, fine.
You have to elaborate now.
Okay, fine. So this theater is tiny. Like they show maybe like a couple of movies there. There's one guy operating the whole thing. It's probably about to close down, which is very sad. But it's so cute and spooky. When I went into the room, I was taking photos of the screen because I was like, oh, it's so cute in here. There's like maybe 30 seats. And I'm standing at the back and I just like tap my phone like 4 times. And then I look at my phone when I sit down to look at the photos, and I'm scrolling through, and then like there's like 2 photos of the screen. And then the third photo is this red 666 across the screen with a skull at the bottom of the screen. Okay. And then I swipe across again, and then there's another photo of the screen. So I'm like, what have I taken a photo of in between? Like, did I like drop my phone? I was like, no, I didn't drop my phone. I'm not gaslighting myself. I was standing there the entire time taking photos. I have no idea where this image came from. I will send it to you. You can put it in here so people can see. Maybe it's
send
cursed.
it. Yeah, send it for sure. I think it's a premonition of this this very podcast, right? So the skulls are the Fear Assembly logo or emblem, whatever you want to call it, and 666. I mean, Ricky, do I need to say more?
Yeah.
So there you go. You know, so we'll have to.
I apologize if this is a cursed photo and we're about to share it with many people, but yeah, it was a really, really strange experience. So maybe that elevated the movie, but I do think it was still a very good movie. And I did stay, whatever it was that was there, this paranormal presence left me alone so I could enjoy the movie, and I had a good time. So it can't have been that bad. And yeah, go watch Marama because it was really good.
I don't want to freak you out, but when you were telling that story, your connection started to go weird, and it hasn't gone weird before that. So just to let you know.
Okay, so I'm cursed. Great.
It's like something doesn't want you to know. Something doesn't want us to know.
Yeah, it's saying don't show this photo to anyone else.
Yeah.
So Amelia, what is a film that you've seen recently that you'd recommend to the group?
Yeah, so mine's Mulholland Drive, which is more of a thriller film, but it was a film I watched when I was a kid. I watched it younger. And just like we were saying about Alien and other films like that, I didn't understand it at all. And I was on a bit of a David Lynch kick. I've just recently rewatched like loads of David Lynch bits. I was like, oh, Mulholland Drive. I haven't watched that since back in the day. It's so sick. And I'd love to tell you what it's really about, but I don't actually know because I don't know what's happening. It's basically a lady's in a car crash. She loses her memory. She doesn't know what's going on. Meets another lady who wants to be an actress. They go on this journey together and they start living together. And then as it goes on, there's more and more weird things that start happening. It's very like uncanny, as David Lynch is, very like weird images, weird dialogue. And the ending is just so confusing. But yeah, so that's what I've recently watched that I really, really enjoyed. You should watch
Such a
it.
good film. Like, there's so
So
much
good.
written about like that jump scare,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so many people claim that is like the best written jump scare in all like horror or all like film history. I'm not sure if I agree with it, but it's definitely what even is it? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I love it. Just David Lynch is a master of just the uncanny, these images that we're meant to know and feel safe with that are just completely 180'd into something weird. And yeah, I love him. Yeah, it's great. It's a good film.
Well, as a bonus point, since you brought that up, Ricky, for me, it's Haunting at Hill House, the car scene where the passenger in the back seat sticks her head out to the front. That
good.
was pretty terrifying. And I think I was watching that with headphones on because, again, I can't watch that in the same room as my wife. And she tells me that I screamed. I don't think I did. But I remember being very, very scared in that moment. So, Ricky, what for you have you seen recently that you'd want to recommend?
So it's a film that I don't think it might not be for everybody. And Chuck actually turned me onto it, and I'm pleased he did. It's called The House Was Not Hungry Then, and it is one of them films that you cannot take your eyes off the screen because you're afraid you might miss something scary, even though nothing really is happening, and it and that is what scares you. It's like the film is constantly building up anticipation with absolutely nothing, and it's genius.
All right.
Sounds good. I'm intrigued.
And did you see that on a streaming platform or VOD or?
Yeah, it was on. I just watched it through Amazon Prime, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So that one's out there. I've not seen that one, so I'm going to check that out. That's going to be added to the top of my list. For me, the movie I'd have to recommend is a Utopia film called Mermaid. This is a wild horror comedy about a man in Florida who discovers a mermaid washed up on the shore. And not only does he decide to help it, but he actually starts to feed it because this is a cannibalistic mermaid. This is not a mermaid that you take home to mom and have a nice family dinner or anything like that. So the movie is extremely wild. We are at the end of our theatrical run for that now. It's going to be on digital by the time this podcast comes out. So if you have heard of it or not, now you have. Check out Mermaid. It's awesome, and we love that film. So which upcoming horror releases that have not come out yet are you most excited about and why? Ricky, I'll start with you.
Backrooms. I'm very, very much looking forward to that. I'm going to one of the premieres. I can't remember when it is, but it's somewhere soon. Really been following this film for a while and just super excited to finally get to see it. And I know that this one is way off in the future, but Flanagan's Exorcist.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm so interested to see what he's going to do because he saved.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't save the original Ouija film. That film is trash, man. But the Origins of Evil is incredible, and that's because it's Flanagan, right? And I think we were all at the same screening for The Exorcist Believer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
In London,
right? And we all kind of walked out just a bit like, ugh, okay. David Gordon Green should just stop making horror films, right? But Flanagan's Exorcist. I'm so anxious to see it. I just don't want him to fail because I don't think he has failed yet.
No.
And I don't want it to be The Exorcist that makes him trip.
Right.
Agreed.
Well, and to add to that, with Mike Flanagan, I brought up Haunting of Hill House. I think the best thing about his work and what makes it truly genius is that even if you take the scariest stuff out, all of the jump scares and anything that could even be considered scary or creepy, the story still works because he's creating these great stories, very well developed characters, and you're intrigued to see what happens, right? And that's very rare because so many horror films these days, it seems like they're being created just with the sole purpose of that scary ending or that scary moment or that jump scare, whatever it might be. With Mike Flanagan, he really, really digs into his work. And so I second this. I'm very intrigued to see what he does. And this is one that people have attempted to, bring back to light multiple times. And there's a lot of mixed reviews with those other films. Amelia, what upcoming horror film are you most excited about?
Funny we're speaking about Mike Flanagan because probably the most anticipated for me is Clayface, like written by Mike Flanagan, directed by James Watkins. I need it immediately, like immediately. Like we all know how sick Mike Flanagan is, but James Watkins he did Eden Lake, he did Shut Up and Dance, the Black Mirror episode. The dude knows macabre cinema and he's so sick. And I love Batman, I love DC, but obviously the more macabre characters like your Scarecrows and Clayface, and it looks like a full-on body horror story from the trailer.
The trailer looks insane.
Yeah,
Dude, it looks so good. It looks so good. So yeah, I'm so stoked. Again with Flanagan, I'm just like, it's gonna be good. With Watkins, I'm like, it's gonna be good. So yeah, that.
Yeah.
And then secondly, Evil Dead Burn, I think I'm quite stoked at. Like
Yeah.
when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, yeah, this looks good. The Evil Dead franchise, like from Evil Dead Rise, was really sick. I enjoyed it. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with that too. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Evil Dead Rise was one of my favorite horror trailers of the last few years. You know,
Yeah.
the scrambled eggs in the kitchen and the knock on
Yeah.
the door and
Mhm.
seeing people through the peephole, just terrifying. But yeah, I mean, it seems like that whole franchise has just been revved up to a 10, and they're really going for it. Ricky, do you agree?
yeah. So I think Rise wasn't. I think Rise was better than a lot of horror films that were brought out at the time, but we're comparing it to the Evil Dead series. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
For me, it's the weakest one. But you know, that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. I really did enjoy it. But I've been saying this for ages, and I will never stop beating this drum. Evil Dead Rise isn't a gory film; it's a bloody film, and there is a difference. And what I need from Burn is I need Burn to go back to 2013 and go,
Oh,
Mm.
here it is.
Yes.
Screw you.
So-
Evil Dead 2013 is
Brilliant.
a masterpiece.
Yes.
Nobody can. It's a perfect movie. It's
Yeah.
so good.
100%.
Do we call that a reboot or a remake? That's the people are constantly saying it's not a remake, it's a reboot. But it's
I'd
like,
say a reboot. I'd say a reboot. I don't think there's enough connection back to like Sam
Yeah.
Raimi Dead for it to be connected to it. To be fair, yes, the Deadites, yes, all of that, but I'd say it's a reboot.
I'd say a
for
reboot. Yeah.
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 So
But-
good,
So
so
good.
good,
It's so good.
Yeah.
Ricky, can you clarify the difference between bloody and gory from your definition?
sure. So bloody is just like here's loads of blood. Gore is here's loads of insides and fingers cut off and eyes popped out and your fucking throat slit. Sorry, I swore. We're past 60 seconds, guys.
Yes, you're good. You're good.
I feel like me
Right.
and Annie knew what you meant. We were both like nodding. Like there's gory and there's bloody. Think about
Like,
the-
yeah, like with Evil Dead Rise, as soon as that cheese grater came out, I was like, here we go. And then it was just like a little bit of skin off the leg. I was like, no, you got to take her entire skin off her body. Like, what are we doing?
Then you look at
You've read my
2013.
mind. I was
Yeah.
like, rock it up. I want to see the
Yeah.
cheese grater blowing up. Yeah, it was just like a little. I was like,
Such a
oh.
unique idea. They should have gone crazy with it. But yeah, I agree.
And do you like the super gory, like Terrifier type of films, or do you feel
I
like
do.
that's just more appropriate for Evil Dead specifically?
Personally, I like gory stuff. Yeah, I like gory stuff.
I love gory stuff.
Yeah.
I think people assume that I really, really like gory stuff, but I can kind of take it or leave it. I think for me, like gore is great, but it has to be alongside a good story. Otherwise, I'm like, okay, whatever, you know. I'm not a gore for gore's sake kind of girl.
Got it. All right. So, Annie, in terms of upcoming horror films that you're really excited about, what would you like to shed light on?
Well, everything that Ricky and Amelia just mentioned, they all look great. But in addition to that, there's a Paramount movie coming out called Passenger, which looks really good. They played the teaser for it like a couple of months ago. I was I jumped and I audibly gasped in the cinema, and it takes a lot for me to do that. And then they just released the full trailer, and it looks really good. It's basically like, I don't know what it is, like a time loop hitchhiker travel, something on the road sort of thing. I don't want to know
Mhm.
too much. I just want to, what I've seen looks good, so I'm ready to pay money and go see it. That and Obsession, I'm also really excited about. I've heard that's like the movie of the year. A lot of my friends have already seen it. They've said it's fantastic. So I'm really excited for that. And then not horror, but I have to mention it, Scary Movie 6. I'm very excited
Hell
about
yes.
that.
Hell yes. I have to
It
say,
should be very funny.
with Obsession, I did the junket for it, and I had a screener with 4 watches on, and I've been rinsing all of those. It's so good. I've been watching it over and over and over. It's sick. I
can't
love it.
wait.
It's really good.
I can't wait.
Now, with Passenger, the marketing for that was very creative because my understanding was the original trailer was only in theaters, right? Ahead
Yeah.
of some movies. So there was no place where you could actually find that trailer for weeks. So it created that word of mouth buzz where everybody that was already going to see another horror film
Yeah.
or something that was at least R rated, they were the only ones that got to see this trailer, and then they're spreading the word. So now by the time the trailer is online, now it's spreading like wildfire again, and we'll see how much that elevates the theatrical release for it. But yeah, I think that's both of the movies that you mentioned are ones that a lot of us are excited to go see. So completely agree.
They look great.
For me, I'm gonna take it full circle back to the Alien talk that you were saying, Amelia, how you're not a huge fan of that, and I know Ricky, sometimes you're not a sci-fi horror guy. I'm very intrigued to see what Spielberg does with Disclosure Day because I think most people are going to go into that thinking it's going to be kind of like Independence Day, some kind of like hybrid alien action movie, and an undertone with everything that's going on in the news cycle today. But I'm curious to see how far he takes it and how dark this story actually gets. And my understanding is that one of the main writers on this is one of Spielberg's partners of the original Jurassic Park and some of the Jurassic Park films. So very intrigued to see what the ultimate storyline is with this. But the big one that stands out and why I'm personally really excited is Spielberg has said, hey, there's more truth than fiction in this film. And so it's going to lead to a lot of people leaving it saying, okay, wait, which parts were real? Like, was that video real? Like you were talking about with The Fourth Kind.
Yeah.
Is the storyline real? Is there some alien language that some people know or can talk in some way? So it's going to be very interesting to see the reaction to that movie. But I am certainly a fan of everything that Spielberg does. So I will find that in a theater, if not in IMAX myself.
Yeah.
So future episodes that we'll have are going to cover a number of different formats. Over the coming weeks, we will have a number of contributors on. You'll see Ricky, Amelia, Annie, myself, and others. And you can find a lot of our content on our existing channels. So again, I want to give everybody a moment to share more about where you can find their content and their social platforms. And if there's any other plugs or movies that you want to mention as we kind of wind down here in the conversation.
Yeah, so you can find me at Annie's Horror across Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And I just did a recent post on my page talking about new sci-fi thriller Mercy that just dropped on 4K, which I really enjoyed. So that's my most recent post. Go check it out.
Excellent. Amelia.
Mercy shocked me, actually. I really liked that film. Just to
Same.
To mention, it's good, right?
I saw it in the theaters and I was like, hang on, this is actually really good. I haven't moved for like 90 minutes.
I saw it in 4DX, so the seats were moving with the dude's seats. So it was all right. I liked it. It was good.
Mercy was good.
Yeah, sick. For me, Clark's Capers on Instagram and TikTok, and I've just posted about the Evil Dead trailer, like breaking that down, talking about things I saw, Deadeye action, Deadeye dog action, and also I'm on Krang Radio playing rock and metal music every Saturday in the UK. So listen in.
Excellent. And what movie would you like to plug before we hand it off to Ricky?
Oh, sorry, I got so excited with Mercy, I forgot to say. So for me, it's a film called Stalker Jane, and it's an independent indie film, really low budget, but it's probably one of the best low budget indie films I've ever seen. The acting's sick, the camera work is sick, like cinematography is sick. All about a girl that's really obsessed with a band, and she really wants to make the band like a big thing, but she's got to get the body count up a little bit to do that. And it's really sick. It's good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Ricky.
You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook under Ricky666. That's SIX, because that confuses some people. Yeah, that's just. I can't remember the last thing I posted. I know it's really bad, but I can't. I think it was some psycho. It might have been. Oh my god, my brain! I have 2 kids on the go at the moment, so my brain is like proper done in.
You did Murdered by My Boyfriend recently.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good film. Well, good show. You did that.
Yeah. I think I did Shallow Grave was the last video I did. That took me too long to remember. Shallow Grave, early Danny Boyle film. But I think the film I want to plug is a film I saw about 5 years ago, and I think about it every single day. It's called The Righteous, and it's all completely shot in black and white, except for I'm not going to ruin it, but there was one thing in it that isn't black and white, and it sounds like I'm trying to describe Schindler's List, and I'm not, but it's so good. It's about this guy who a stranger turns up at his house, and it's just them getting to know each other, and it just goes so psychological. I absolutely love it, and I never see anybody talk about it, which is such a shame because it's such a good film.
Okay, that's another one to add to my watch list.
Yeah, my watch list is getting longer. That sounds sick. Okay, cool.
I have to just plug one more before we go, and it's called Hallow Road. No one knows about it, or very limited people know about it. I saw it last year at Overlook Film Festival, and it's on streaming now. It took a long time to get distribution, but it's with Rosamund Pike and Matthew Rhys, and the story is that in the middle of the night they get a phone call from their daughter saying that she's caused a hit and run accident. She's run somebody over, and the entire movie is the 2 parents in the car trying to get to where she is to figure out what's happened. It's a perfect movie. 10 out of 10. I'm not going to say anything else. It's so, the hairs are standing up on my arm right now, even as I'm talking about it. It's so good. Please, everyone go watch it.
What's it called again? Hallow Road.
Hallow Road.
Hallow Road.
Yes.
Okay, let's watch that. That sounds sick.
So good.
So in the United States, that's streaming on Hulu now, and that's from XYZ Films. We're the producers behind that, and we second that. It is a great movie. We were very close as Utopia to get involved in that. And one that I will plug that Utopia did release and produce is called I Live Here Now. This is from Julie Pacino. This was her directorial debut about a young woman who actually gets pregnant from a character played by Matt Rife, who actually bought the real Conjuring house, by the way, to take it full circle. And he's very happy about that. We'll see how that goes over the next few months. But in I Live Here Now, this young woman is getting a lot of conflicting opinions about what she should do next in her life. And so she basically runs to a hotel where she encounters all kinds of other people that all have their own opinions about what she should do and not do, as Matt Rife and some people in his family try to track down the young lady. So it's an amazing visual film, and it is a adventure and a journey in its own right. But that is available on digital now from Julie Pacino. So with that, we will go ahead and wrap today's episode. We want to thank everybody for joining us. We are Fear Assembly, and over time, we want to help recommend movies for you to go and check out. So thank you for your support, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Bye, guys.